Yeah, about there. That's pretty good.
Going live. Nice. All right, we're back after the long ass break that we've had.
Shit, zero viewers already.
Oh fuck! Bro. Well, guys, settle down. Holy shit!
You went 0 to 100 real quick.
Damn.
Shit.
So yeah,
sipping our Dirty Simpsons.
Dirty Simpsons. Bringing it back, you know.
Old Nolsey, one of our mates, brought around some homemade orange juice from Pickering Brook.
It's not too bad.
Yeah.
Freshly squeezed it himself.
Yeah.
Did you clean the camera? It looks filthy.
It looks fucking.
It looks so filthy.
Dodge. Let's see if we can get
Hang on.
a bit of clarity. A moment of fucking.
I'd help, but Big Horse is on my lap.
Big Horse. Let me get a little cloth of some sort.
Yeah. Whatever you need, mate. Go for it. I think it does. It looks grub. Like, no.
I'll have to use my pants.
No. I'll just grab a cloth.
With the halo, it's so hard.
Oh,
it's so hard.
Oh.
It's so big.
This is just.
Does that look better?
Oh, there we go.
Actually, that was
gotten better.
That does look better.
Gotten better.
Way more grainy now. That's awesome.
All right.
So
I think we probably should put that back forward.
Yeah. That's good. That's good.
That's actually not too bad.
That's good. Let's go a bit over your way and then fucking sort it.
So should we talk about why we've been on a break?
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, you guys can see old mate here, Joshy. He's got himself into a little bit of a bingle. Nothing too serious, as you can see.
Low key.
You know, like
barely noticeable, actually. Yeah.
Actually, but
yeah.
So he's the story's better when it comes from the original source,
from the horse's mouth. It's just shame. No, I've broken up with this misso and I yeeted my vehicle, and this is something I'm not proud of. Had a bunch of beers, broke up with her, and got in my car to drive home. And to give a bit of like backstory, the club that we were drinking at, this Italian club, was only a K&a-half from where I live. Yet I decided to jump behind the wheel. I can't even remember it because of the impact, but boom, went straight into boy. He's like, some fucking stank breath has been on that one. Woo. Yeah, so crashed into this tree, and the vehicle was very crushed. Had to be cut out by the jaws of life. It was like hydraulic snippers, tin snips. And yeah, so I spent 8 days in hospital, and it's been almost 3 months now. I'm going to get this off on Friday. But yeah, there's a bit of an adjustment period, so a bit of a recovery was needed. Just a little. Even though I wanted to go back to work and keep this thing going as soon as I woke up in the hospital. Unfortunately, fate did not smile on me that day.
Not particularly.
This is Big Horse.
This is the Big Horse.
This is
my dog.
Yeah.
He thought he'd get in on the conversation today.
He's got a few
Yeah,
strong opinions when it comes to politics, things like that he wanted to share. We haven't been keen to get him on so far because once he starts on a political rant, you can't get him to stop.
He just goes and goes and goes, and it's
an animal.
It's like a locomotive with no brakes.
Yeah,
it just
all fucking gas, no brake. It's huge.
Bad. It's not good for morale.
Yeah,
to be honest.
I mean, we've got some of our own opinions, but fuck, sometimes it's like things you don't talk about at the dinner table: religion, politics, and felching assholes. Just something you've got to keep to yourself. Apparently, it doesn't go well.
Exactly. So yeah, how long you got until you get that contraption off your head?
4 days now, or 3 days.
4 days.
Yeah, on Friday. So
yeah, beautiful.
Gonna cruise down. I got an X-ray, which essentially what's happened is I've fractured 4 vertebrae, C3, 4, and 6 and 7. So I had a bone removed from my hip, so like a scar there, and that was put into my neck. There's like another scar there, and yeah, they're gonna make sure that's all aligned. Luckily, I've already had a X-ray quite early in the piece, and it looks like it's all set well. So
yeah,
be right to get it off this Friday, which is gonna be wicked. Can't wait to go back to work. It's pretty heinous just having to play games all day, sitting this. And I can't actually take this off. I can't shower, so it's pretty fucking
pretty much washing yourself with a rag on a stick at this point.
It's stank. It is probably stank. Yeah.
Like I feel bad, but
it smells medical.
Shit
like
happens.
After a while, it's got this. It smells sponge, but it's like a medical sponge. It's like you've smelt it in old person homes and hospitals before. It's the smell of like a person sitting on the same fabric for a long duration of time. The thing that makes me not smell it so much is something like this, a Dirty Simpson.
Dirty Simpson.
Dirty Simpson, bit of rum and OJ.
Loves it.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, well, Christmas and all that, obviously everyone knows is just banging as well. It's a lovely time of the year. I don't know how everyone's Christmas was. I'm hope it was great. Mine was brilliant.
It was hot.
Yeah, so hot.
It was hot as, but no, it's been so good. We actually took the time. It's partly because of the heat, but we're inspired to upgrade our wall of yarns. So we've got a better sort of room around it.
So like studio around it now. We've put up walls, put up roof, all insulated. Not yet finished, but it's looking good. I don't know. Hopefully the acoustics is better. Maybe we can hear the difference compared to our old stuff, but that'd be sick.
It appears that as far as the sound goes, it seems
to be alright.
Yeah, it's registering.
Yeah.
So it would be interesting to see how it turns. It always seems to turn out really well, though. We get paranoid about the audio, but the Yeti does a good job.
Yeah,
I have to say, it really does.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. No, so it should be better in here. Less flies. The flies are getting rancid. Like in Australia, the heat, like 40 degrees, flies. It's just insanity.
There's one buzzing around your drink right now.
Jeez, he likes a dirty
ridiculous.
Too. He approves of the orange juice.
Who doesn't?
Yeah. Fucking fiend it. I'll tell you what, gets rid of the scurvy.
Tell you what though, I mean, lucky you didn't go to Jesus camp, hey?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the alternatives for me.
It seems pretty bad. Like you think about it, Jesus camp, that's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Like
it's anywhere from 3 to 12 months down in Esperance, which is like, if you're looking at Australia and the western coast, it's like one of the most sort of like southern towns, I guess. It's not like on the absolute south, but it's near there.
Yeah.
The plan, or what I was getting planned for me, was to spend a bit of time there in rehab.
Jesus camp.
Smoking bukes, which is...
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that should be mandatory if you're recovering for 3 months in a halo.
Yeah, it's better than getting hooked on opiates.
Yeah. I mean, they would try to peddle you some Oxycontin, but we all know that doesn't end well. And you got to kick back. Otherwise, how are you going to sit there doing nothing for 3 months?
3 months in this contraption.
Yeah.
Like, your head's stiff. Like, every time I have to talk to the poor fella, he's got to do the old
I do the full body twist.
It's pretty heinous for a young fella.
It's going to be surreal getting it off. I feel like my head's going to just be like so heavy on this little piddly neck.
Yeah.
My little emaciated neck is not going to be able to hold this fucking big
Just
old head up. I look like fucking Steven Seagal now as well. Yeah, no shit. I had a mullet before this, but that's all gone.
No, it'll come back.
This would be better for Jesus camp anyway.
You can't not get rid of the mullets.
Yeah,
it's an Australian tradition.
Yeah, the mullet will come back. You guys will see. I'll cultivate it. I'll give it time, affection, and it will just blossom into.
Eventually, it'll be something
beautiful.
So yeah, but Friday, not too long. You'll have that fucking thing off.
And I can let these holes. This thing is stuck in with metal.
I don't know. I still think we should definitely get the horns put in afterwards.
Yeah, prosthetic horns.
Prosthetic horns.
I mean, I've already got the hole.
Yeah, exactly.
It'd be a shame to waste an opportunity. I bored this hole out. It's finally settled in. My body's accepting that it's got a foreign thing in it.
Yeah. For you guys that don't know, they're literally screwed just this ball, and he's got 4 of them, and they just hold his head in place. And every Friday, you got to go get them tightened.
They use a
little torque wrench.
Torque wrench, yeah. It's got a little meter on it, and it's got to sit at 8, whatever the unit of measurement is. But the more I essentially bump it, and it's fine as time progresses, it doesn't hurt as much. But initially, the more I bump it, the looser it gets. So on Friday, they'll check each one before they tighten them and read out to the other nurse what reading it comes at. The worst was when it got to 4. 2 of them got to 4. The other 2 were at 5, or 5, and 1 was 6.
Yeah.
And to bring those all back up to 8, you could feel the metal twisting against your skull. And afterwards, it feels just it's like a migraine, this intense pressure on the exterior of your head.
Yeah.
It was heinous.
Nah, fuck yeah.
How could you not charge bukes? I mean, it's an absurdity. That's mandatory.
You'd be crazy if you did.
Mandatory.
To be honest.
Yeah.
You'd almost be as crazy as one of those child soldiers joining Coney's army and filtering poo-poo through their teeth.
Yeah. Obviously, corn is a very, very valuable commodity and tradable commodity.
Yeah.
But to sift it out of, I know it's like kopi luwak. It's like the Indonesian cat shit coffee.
Yeah. It's very valuable once it has been acquired through the digestive system of Nigerian sub-Saharans or some shit.
It'll be like anyone sort of around the Serengeti, I'd imagine, predominantly.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like a lot of people, the fuel that they create from this corn. Oh man,
the advancement, the new application, and the advancement in technology that new fuel like that brings is inconceivable of how it's like going to change the game, and it has changed the game.
Well, it is. Yeah, exactly. We could almost get to Mars using kernel fucking fuel.
We would never go off planet Earth if it wasn't for the kernel corns.
Kernel fuel.
Yeah. Kernels that are extracted by sifting poo through gaps in the teeth.
Yeah, and obviously the saying on Call of Duty is "show them your teeth."
Yeah.
So if
you've got really big gaps,
you
can sift. You get bigger corn kernels.
That's how your stature is like
socially.
What is it?
Yeah.
Judged.
Yeah. You measure your social stature and your civilizations.
They measure you off how big your teeth are and how big are the kernels you can actually catch. If eventually it just goes all the way to nothing, and you're catching, dust.
Dust, yeah. So show them your teeth, mate. That's the thing. Once you see big fucking spaced out teeth bared at you, you retreat. You would retreat.
You would. Oh, what have we got here? Music manager. Oh, it's not optimized.
It's not updated.
Oh,
no.
It's deleted.
Oh no.
Get rid of it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to yeet this in the bin.
Yeah. Exactly.
So plans for 2020.
Oh man.
2020. Coney. Bring back Coney.
Yeah.
Who
do you reckon's going to win the election this year for America? Like, I know we're Australian and shit, but like everyone talks about American politics because obviously it's funner and it's more fucking dramatic. So
look,
who do you reckon? Do you reckon Trump's going to hold it?
Initially, I thought that Trump would hold it because the opinions that I hear from, and look, I don't know exactly where. I think it's like essentially one side and the other, like each coast. I'm hearing like the sentiment predominantly from each coast. Initially, I thought it was going to be Trump.
Yeah.
But it appears, I believe on the West Coast, a lot of the West Coast, and there's like a lot of like left-wing support. It's not going to really pan out quite as easy for Trump, I believe, because of the social media and the perception of a lot of people.
Yeah.
Particularly on the, it might be West or East Coast. I feel like there's a predominant coast where it's actually equal support in the other side.
Yeah, no. Well, there's obviously going to be states where there is a majority. See, Democratic and Republic. See, I don't really know what the different. I think Democratic's the left wing and Republic's the right. Is that
Trump's
right?
Republican?
Yeah,
is he?
I think so. I'm fairly sure that's how it works.
So
I just know
Democrats
left
are
and
the
right
Clintons.
because obviously that's how everyone portrays it. It's like, the left and the right.
Regardless of what it's
Trump's
called.
is a far right.
Yeah.
Like, he's a Nazi.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay. That's
Socialist being the left.
Like,
yeah. But I mean, as you say, I'm pretty sure Democrats are like, say, the Clintons and then Trump's
the
the Republic.
Yeah.
So the
Reds.
He's the elephant and the donkey?
He's the Reds. He's the Reds and they're the Blues.
Oh, okay. And that's essentially a big thing in Australia. The red flag, the red ensign flag represents people and the blue represents the government.
Yeah, bring them back to Australia. Yeah, fucking oath.
And I guess that's portrayed there as well. It's a similar principle.
I don't know. Well, I've got a red ensign as well. Like,
yeah, you have to grab it for people that haven't seen.
It's got the 6-side star at the bottom with the 9-sided stars.
Slight variation. Obviously, the main being the red.
The main under the Union Jack is the 6 stars, and that represents, obviously the 6 days before ACT was corruptly made. But that's
so we have our own Trump side, our own Trump body, and I mean, what happened in our scenario was a senator in the eastern states of Australia. He was having a rally which was pro right side, so pro Trump side, I would imagine would be a good comparative.
I guess.
And he got egged. So there's this like, this is playing out for us as well as it is the Americans. There's two sides sort of battling at it.
And now you got with the bushfires and all that, you got ScoMo, ban ScoMo.
The Liberal government in Australia
Yeah,
Mm.
it's just as corrupt as everywhere else. And there's actually, I've seen a lot of petitions and by the news as well, actually saying that people are calling for ScoMo to resign. Scott Morrison, for the people that aren't aware who ScoMo is.
Mm.
We just abbreviate it to ScoMo because
Way easier than
Scott Morrison. Yeah, fucking like
Mm.
that.
So the fires in Australia, if you're not familiar, they're enormous. There's the
yeah.
biggest spanning fire that's
Pretty much ever.
pretty much ever. It's a way bigger than a fire in the Amazon. It's
Well,
killed over
it's not a
500 million
single fire.
animals.
That's the thing. It's there's
Yeah.
multiple fires.
We've got a
all
huge
over the
continent.
country.
We've got a huge continent.
We've already
Yeah.
lost, what is it? 500 million animals. We've already lost 500 million wild animals to just the fire itself.
It's taken a real toll. Like
We're having the army come in afterwards and
Occupying,
land. We're having ScoMo taking a holiday to
he's fucked off to Hawaii. Yup.
Prior to all this, and it's just like, man, you're supposed to help the people and represent the people.
It's kind of like a ship going down, a ship fucking getting sunk.
Yeah, the captain
And
goes down with the ship.
The first person that jumps off is the captain. You kick back, and it's not good. It's not even
and then
anything to do with what looks good. It's
you have all these
good.
people who have literally got a job, but they're volunteer firefighters, right?
Yeah.
So they're going to fight the fire. They've left their job. Well, not left it. They've just gone, and they're like, I've got to go fight this fire to save my fucking home and my town and my friends' houses and stuff.
Yeah.
And so they're going to do this. They haven't had an income for a while. Yes, when you're a volunteer SES fighter, you do get a government subsidized pay, but it's nothing compared to what your standard wage is, whatever you would be earning, right?
And these people, they've got homes, they've got mortgages, they've got regardless of what they get in each week, they have an X amount of outgoing, which I'm sure everyone's familiar with, So to sacrifice
all the income and still have the outgoing and have nothing to. You're digging in the savings here.
We're in a national emergency.
We're in WA, the western part of Australia, all right? And the only paved road, all right, technically the only paved road, which is the fastest route to us, is got fires on it on either side, and it's shut down at the moment. So Western Australia is technically, the media is portraying it that the roads have been cut off and we've been cut off from supplies, as
food
in
supplies.
Water, food, baby formula, all that type of shit. Medicine, because it's all chilled, medicine.
Yeah. This is all being portrayed on the mainstream free to air.
Exactly. But
news and
I don't know
television.
if they're making it out to be worse than it is, because yes, we're in Australia, right? We got, it's kind of like that shape, a bit weird. We're here. We got the main highway at the bottom. You can drive north and then go around the top, right? But it's not a sealed road. But the truck drivers don't want to do that. But
could be something to do with their insurance or whatever.
The trucks will go off the road.
But I feel like when it comes down to it, it's like you've got to ignore policy.
Australia drives with 5 to 6, trailers on their road trains. So on an unsealed road, that's a death wish right there. Because as soon as it starts doing that,
you can't be. You got to be crawling. You got to be going real slow.
Yeah.
And without any sort of covering on the road, it takes. There's nothing for the tires to grip to, so it takes a lot longer to slow down.
Yeah.
But I mean,
there's just no grip.
This is what's heinous though, is that this aside, these are all facts that we know it is dangerous. But if we are really in a national emergency, which the media portrays is the case because of how much land is currently being burnt and is on fire, this is where you need to look past silly policies which are being put in place, I guess, for the greater good in the big picture. But when it's an emergency, like cornflakes, they were invented because we wanted the people were back at home to eat breakfast still, but we had to send all of our good food to the troops.
Yeah.
It's really what it came down to, is like, if you need the food, you're going to get it there somehow. Even if it's like a 3-trailer long scenario with the truck, say it has to drop off 2 of the containers and leave them there.
Yeah.
Surely you're
and
still
then
going to
do
take the
4
one
or 5
container.
trips,
Yeah.
with 1 or 2 trailers rather than 5 trips.
And you've got government support to essentially, cover the cost of the damages. So there's incentive for the companies to still bring in as much food.
But that's the thing, the insurance companies, I'm sure, would be the ones saying and putting their foot down and going, well, if you fuck those trucks, we've already told you you're going to fuck those trucks.
That's where the government should straight away be like, well, that doesn't matter. We'll then pay for it.
It doesn't matter.
We'll pay for it because people's lives and the food the food supplies at stake. But that's when you've got ScoMo pissing off to Hawaii, and how it is over east, it's not like this in Perth because we're lucky it's down south, don't get me wrong, near Esperance and Jesus Camp.
Yeah.
But over
Shout out.
east, yeah, people were getting burnt. The houses are being burnt down. Like a lot of native animals which are already endangered are being killed. This is like a time where no matter what's required to be able to get all hands on deck to fight the fires should be covered by the government, which is a organisation that's set up by the people for the people, technically, or it should be.
But they're cutting funds.
But they're cutting funds.
They're cutting funds to all the firefighting people. They're not giving out incentives.
Mate,
they actually have started recalling since ScoMo's been under the thumb with the media. He has been actually putting out new policies of like, fucking, they're going to get 10 weeks paid. Anyone who's on the books firefighter. So all the people who are volunteering are still not going to get that. It's only the council people, the people who work for the government through the council.
They're trying to protect their image by doing this.
Yeah.
But it shows how unwilling they are to make sacrifices in order to enable people to fight the fires. You know what I mean? They don't want to really put themselves out there because, obviously if they said to anyone fighting the fires leaves their job to go fight the fires, we're going to give whatever they usually earn a week. Just give us a few pay slips to prove it. We'll give them that while they fight the fires.
Exactly.
The excuse would be because people would scam it and fraud it. Obviously people.
But obviously the fire is not fucking a fraud.
But that's it. So even if a few people do that, it's the bigger picture of stopping the fire, which is currently burning, like right now. Just
like there was so much coverage for California fires and shit. I don't know what it would be like for America or Europe and all that. Like. I wouldn't understand how your media portrays what
Asia
what Australia's like feeling and seeing right now. Like I'm sure Facebook you'd see more, right? Like everyone always turns to Facebook to see, you got that mark safe thing on like fucking earthquakes and shit for Facebook. You don't have that on like the news. You can't ring up the news and go, "Oh, I'm fucking safe."
Yeah.
People turn to the internet media to check this type of shit.
Well, that's why the current government in Australia has changed their policies. It's because they didn't anticipate the lashback they would get from free media. Like, it spread so quickly, everyone suddenly became aware of how they were dogging their citizens, so they had to change it.
Correct.
This is where it all stems from.
And it's ridiculous. But hopefully someone will... I personally think ScoMo should be fucking kicked out. He's a piece of shit. To just leave the country.
I think. Look, I was raised.
So he decked out the jet. All right. So what was that? $120 million. He decked out.
I think 125ish. They allegedly spent on
his private like Air Force One for Australia. Like how the president of America has like Air Force One. We apparently decked out our Air Force One for the fucking Prime Minister, dude.
But also cut funding for firefighting.
And he's been in for like 5 months, and he's fucking taken his first taxpayer paid holiday. So he didn't pay for any of the airline tickets. Like I'm sure it would have been business class and all that, and we all know how business class is. It's 15-20 grand for a fucking ticket,
Which sure,
and where
the leader of your country should be. Look, the issue is that if the leader of your country was going here like a truly invested leader that like would never fight on the front lines, in essence, would be like there with just the front line trying to fix the problems.
Yeah.
If he operated like that and genuinely was sacrificing his life and his family time and his family life to fight for Australia, then you would be like, this guy deserves, if he's ever is going to go on a holiday with his family, he deserves to go business, surely. But he's leaving at the time of the battle, like the first fucking battle happening.
The first
clashing.
Hit.
He's gone, boy. He's not even at the back of the back lines. He's just out.
He's just gone.
Skipped town, bro, across the ocean.
Grab the fastest horse and fucking go, boy, go.
With his family. And it's... People say, it just looks bad, but, everyone goes on holiday. Not the leader, the leader of the country. Like, there's a genuine issue. You don't treat a country like a fucking stock portfolio.
No.
Like it's sitting there and it exists there, and it's like, oh look, it'd be better if I was here watching it, but it'll be there when I come back.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
That's
It's
an
fucked.
insult.
It's
That's
fucked.
an insult.
And I'm glad that people of Australia have woken up and gone, fuck, you know what? This guy just fucked off when, the crisis got big.
Mm.
And not to mention he's cut funding for all the firefighters.
So
fuck him.
that's the biggest thing. For me, I grew up with, my family was in support of ScoMo and the Liberal government. And I always grew up thinking the Liberal government was, the better side. I thought that the Labor side was more socialist, and I was like, oh, they're trying to make it less profitable to be a capitalist. But in actuality, it's just from what it appears, a very corrupt group of individuals that operate solely for their own interests and benefits.
Yeah,
and
correct.
I've formed these new opinions based off solely what the actions of these people have been in the event of crisis.
Yeah.
For our food supply to be cut off, I would like to think that even if the fires over east were not happening, for our fires to be cutting off Perth's food supply, which is the biggest city in the western side of Australia, which is equally as huge, just flat and a lot more uninhabitable, I guess.
Yeah.
So there's a lot less population, but it's just as big side of Australia. I'd like to think that ScoMo would be flying here and being here to make sure it was sorted and we had our food supplies reopened. I'd like to see him here doing that, but he's not even over east where the main fires are. He's out of the country.
Yeah, just in Hawaii, prancing around.
It shows what he cares about.
And then lying about it. That's the worst part.
These old boys, they forget how powerful social media is as far as reaching people goes. It's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge.
It's ridiculous.
Brendo,
How are we, fellas?
What's going on, mate?
What's going on?
How's your day?
come take a seat.
Oh, not bad, mate.
Fucking
Not bad.
pull up the pew, bud.
Yeah, I'll move down.
Oh, shit.
How you guys going?
Yeah, going well.
Good yourself.
Talk about the fires, are we?
Yeah.
Bloody ScoMo being asked to leave.
That's it, buddy.
Yeah, which is warranted. I don't know. People need to have a look at it and be like,
I don't know. He hasn't done a great job, but is it his fault?
it's not his fault, but I believe that the leader of the
It
country
is
should be
kind
there
of
on the
his
front
fault
line.
because
Yeah, for
he cut a lot of funding.
Yeah, yeah.
Even old Abbott, Tony Abbott, man, old onion muncher, he didn't want coverage for him being on the fucking front lines. He's been there for the last 2 weeks fighting on the front lines.
Yep. No, he's done a bit of that.
I personally don't like him.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, he's one of the bigger twats, but that shows that even a big twat has an investment in the country.
At least
I don't
he is
care.
a worthy leader,
Yeah,
even though he
that's
is a
what he's
liberal
doing.
leader.
And for him not to be trying to get coverage on this, because have you got him on Instagram?
Yeah.
I've got him on Instagram, and I've also seen a few videos of people that have seen him around. He's very social media driven. He's trying to for an old boy get on that wave. And there's videos of him out at a little cove beach over in the eastern states with his phone camera in his suit, just trying to get a good angle. And g'day guys. So he's
He's out there and he's showing
out there.
leadership.
But
That's what he's doing.
yet he's not trying to capitalize on this because this is not a marketing event. It's a fire that's endangering people and destroying heaps of people's shit.
And that's what see. My opinion is, what's blaming people doing? What's it going to do?
See, it's not about blaming people. It's about
His
if
actions.
you're rising to the occasion. So in exchange for leading this country for a term, you get
And getting
a
all
really,
the benefits
really crazy.
after
Yeah,
you
that's
leave
what I'm
the
saying.
country.
Yeah, oh, man.
Right, which you
It's
deserve
ridiculous.
if you do it properly.
Don't get me wrong. I don't stand for ScoMo. I don't stand for any of them because I know that all of them ignore our constitution.
Yeah.
And for that is why they should all be dissolved. Not
Yeah.
for him
Correct.
in action on the fire or being on holidays. It should be because they don't hold rule of law anymore.
Yeah.
And this
That's the thing. But to be so blatant as to treat this country, and this is what I mentioned earlier, is like a stock portfolio, to treat it like, oh, it'll be there when I get back. It's like with contempt. It's as if this isn't a real living, breathing country. That in itself, rule of law aside, is enough to be like, not only do you not deserve the perks that come with doing this, you deserve to be kicked out because you're treating it with contempt.
Yeah.
Even if you can't physically, obviously one man can't put out a fire that's that big, but it's to be there on the scene and
actually
trying
doing
to help.
something rather than just escaping and going straight to fucking Hawaii
Yeah.
No one
just like-
expects him to put it out himself.
Yeah,
but
no,
to see him there would be
I
like,
don't either, yeah.
Yeah, to see him there, like helping
Doing what
the
he
boys,
can.
bringing
Bring
buckets of
something.
water.
If you're going to have a
bring
convoy of
food.
vehicles,
Yep.
bring something to the hungry people you're going
Yeah,
to visit.
100%.
Yeah.
And even if you have to cut funds,
Yeah.
if he was still there,
it is
being like,
ridiculous.
look, boys, and explain why the funds have to be cut. Be like, this is a really heinous thing to have to do, but these are the reasons why we have to do it. So you
And
can
like-
see it from my side.
And I don't know
But
about
I'm
you boys,
here.
but I haven't seen any ads on TV like, we're in a crisis, we need volunteers. Where the fuck's the ad campaigns for like asking for volunteers? There's none.
They're on social media and they're initiated by people by the looks of it. That's what's around at the moment.
Yeah,
They're being actual individuals.
because the government's
Yeah.
not doing fucking
Yeah.
shit about it.
No.
Yeah.
No, they don't. Yeah, they don't look after its people anymore. That's what it looks like anyway.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like to a lot of Australians, and
Yeah.
that's why ScoMo has lost so much. Is because it just hasn't got the public's backing anymore.
Well, you know what they
we-
say. If
like
it looks
just-
like something, if it seems like something, it
It is
generally is
something.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's too much here.
Yeah.
There's too much to ignore.
Yeah.
And I think in a time like this, more
But
now than
I
ever,
think we need to scratch a bit deeper.
Yeah.
We need to know actually what's going on because
ask the right questions.
yeah,
Who are these guys? If they're clearly not serving us, because he's off in Hawaii in a newly upgraded jet, or he didn't
Tax
actually take.
funded.
He didn't take the government jet there. He just
Yeah, he just
tax fund and holiday. Okay, if he's there while this is happening, and who is he serving? Whose interests is he representing?
and yeah, I get it. He gets holiday time too, but seriously, like
That's
you're
irrelevant.
leaving in a
So-
time of crisis.
That's a- yeah.
Like,
you'd
A
expect
true fucking captain.
the people
Never.
fucking who are victim to the fires. They deserve holiday as well,
Yeah.
but they're not getting any.
many of them would.
They don't
try
want
go
to
on
take a holiday.
holidays.
They don't want to
Yeah.
take a holiday.
Yeah.
Like, you call up your neighbour, like, oh, sorry, yeah, I did say I was going to come around this arvo and help put out that fire that's burning your house down, but I've actually got really cheap tickets right now to Bali because of the fires.
Yeah.
No one's going to Bali. It's really cheap,
It's real
so
cheap.
I've got to go. But I'll help you when I get back with whatever.
Yeah.
You could crash on my couch, maybe you and your family.
Oh, there were people
Yeah, we'll cook up
holidaying
some fucking
there.
bacon.
Like they were going there to
Mm.
holiday, and like,
Mate.
and it's got so big, and it's crazy.
See,
It's just insane.
I personally, I don't know much about the answers to that real hot question as far as whose interest is this party representing. But I can tell clearly from this, without ambiguity, there's no ambiguity. It's just like what the actions are based off a real thing that's happened and happening right now. Something that's hectic, killing fucking insane amounts of like wildlife, destroying people's like lives.
Mm.
So who is? I believe you know more than I would.
Way more.
Yeah,
But-
I wouldn't be able
but-
to tell you that.
No, but like
That's a
explain to me in real layman terms.
What I would, yeah,
Who are they
yeah.
in relation to what Australia is about in our initial constitution, which
Well, no.
is what our Anzacs
we
fought
should
for.
broaden it out a bit as well. Like, obviously these fires are terrible, and like we should do all we can. Get behind it. Get some money to one of the causes. Make sure it's not going straight to the freaking government and their bloody
And they're
don't buy
fire
news
giving
for
it
$10.
go to
Yeah.
the rural volunteer fire services and donate directly to them. That's where it counts. And let's look at it from other ways. What other ways do they not represent us? What's the average Australian's view on marijuana, for example? What is it, like 70%?
I believe anyone that smokes it should go to Jesus Camp in Esperance for at least 12 months.
at
Okay.
least.
At
12.
least.
So you're okay with it, right?
Oh fucking!
And I'm okay with it. So that's 2 against
Yeah.
3, all right?
Yeah.
That's
That's majority
66%,
rules.
all right? That's 66%. And if they were for us and for the people, imagine the boom that we could have if we did actually make it a commodity, tax it, not as far to the extent as tobacco and alcohol, because that's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
But make it legal and make
It's the
Even
same as
create
right now.
jobs,
It's the
you
same
know?
as right now. You two wanting to partake and smoke some devil's lettuce, and me as the other individual here, we're all just mates chilling in a room, saying, "Look, guys, like obviously you like it, but you can't smoke it. Like I'll fight you if need be if you try to." And it's not because it's around me or anything. I if you go out of the room, I still don't want you to smoke it.
Yeah.
Even if I'm not aware that you're smoking it, I don't want you to smoke it because I don't think that it's.
Well, I'm not hurting anyone, Josh.
But I don't
It's a
care.
victimless crime.
I just don't want you to do it. And
Well, then it's
I'll
2
keep an
against
eye on
1,
you.
and I guess we're gonna have to beat you up.
God gave me that plant, bro.
But this is the thing. Why aren't you guys beating me up? What stops you from beating me up is because of the fear.
Bullshit laws.
The difference between me and the government.
I don't want to beat you up.
The difference
Yeah,
is
look
because
at him. He's in a fucking halo.
yeah, again, it's because
Yeah.
the difference between me and the government in that analogy
Yeah.
is that instead of it being me, just this one individual, these guys can see, the government is this. You don't know how far it reaches. You don't know how many people are involved. It's as if could be one or not one, but 100,000 or 1,000,000 people.
Yeah.
But you're not sure.
Yeah.
So you're not going to try and beat me up, just the two of you, because I mean, it could
We
be
just accept
so
that
many
it's
people.
illegal. You
you just accept that you're being
which is a bit
stronger.
Which, getting back to my point, it shows that they're not really for the people, because that would sort of benefit our country, and a majority of people don't actually care. And it would put more resources to where it's needed in police and the war on drugs.
I agree, and I think that based off the evidence we've
rehab.
seen in first world countries that have legalized weed, and even in European countries that have legalized other drugs, we've seen such a positive
impact
change and impact in the community.
Well, yes, drug
From
use
controlling
and crime has gone down, but the addiction hasn't gone away.
But at least they can feel free to get help and open, because they're not already labelled or put into this category of criminal, people operating outside of the law.
The help is there for it, and violent crime's gone down.
Yeah, it has. It has gone down, but that's because people don't have to go to a house and people are getting rolled by
the black
other
market doesn't
people
have
because
strength.
they're fucking all junkied out, and they're like, oh, we'll take advantage of this guy because he's fucking all zonked. And then they, fucking start wigging out, and then fucking someone gets stabbed or some shit.
Yeah.
So I just think, bringing it back to the point. I think
they're not there.
The point is that right now we need to, as people who because I used to think that I used to be pro-liberal, but in this time of crisis and where we're seeing the actions of the Liberal government, I think it's more important now than ever that we fucking all take a stand towards getting out there what we do want for ourselves and our friends and our family.
Trying to figure out what is going on.
What do we want?
Because what we've got right now, and I'll try and make it as simple as possible, but 1973 to 1975, a caretaker government was installed, right? And that's never left. And they've got an oath that has no lineage whatsoever back to our Commonwealth of Australia Constitution. They've got another constitution that was created in 73 that has the Queen of Australia, which is proclaimed to be Queen Elizabeth II. But she has told us in several speeches, one of them her 1957 Christmas address, that she cannot command our armies and that she does not control our laws, which means it's up to us. It's not up to her. She's not really our queen.
So what she's saying is, even though the current power that resides there is claiming that it's to her that they are entitled to this power, they're actually she's come out and she said, no, I don't actually, I've never met these guys.
Yeah, it's
just so you know.
It's up to you guys.
You guys got to sort that problem out.
And then we look back to these guys and we're like, did you hear what she just said? And they're like, she's old. It's her. Just trust us. It's her. But we said it multiple times.
We can break it down to that oath. And you can.
Did that really happen?
And you can ask very specifically whether the oath that you take, any public official, ask them if it has lineage back to our Commonwealth of Australia Constitution. And the simple fact is, they won't answer you. They won't answer me. The Attorney General won't answer me.
You've been trying.
No one's answered me.
You've been.
In fact, he removed the rule of law page from the Attorney General Office's website, which is just like, that underpins, it used to say, it underpins the way our society is run. And bam, that's gone because people are asking questions about it.
We're under the obligation to serve a business that claims to be our government, and
it's imitating a Commonwealth role, but it's not really.
But it's a business. It's a private business.
Pretty much, it is. But the Commonwealth of Australia was a corporation as well. So, but it had different.
But it's for the people. Its obligation was to us.
So the beneficiaries were the people, right? Whereas now we're all citizens, which only came into play in 1948.
Okay, so let's just assume that everyone is getting the gist of this. because I and this is even for me, like, okay, so what do we do next? Because we're all sitting here looking at this happen. We want ScoMo out, but we don't want just the next perpetrator or the next representative of this business.
You want to dissolve the lot.
That doesn't actually take care of us.
You want all of them gone.
Get
and then
all
you
of
want
them out.
new representatives.
So where do we go from here? But we haven't even figured out yet officially, but we need to.
Oh, there's places to go, and
What's the next step?
see what it comes down to, because they do have a role in what they're doing. Right?
What's your channel called on YouTube?
I haven't even started it, but it's called Lawtards.
Law-
It is
yeah,
there, but I haven't got a video up yet.
That's okay, but you can.
I will. I'll get there. I'll get
You
there.
need to now, so we can
Yes.
link something.
Yes, I've said I would now.
Yeah.
Um,
We'll have to edit it after the fact, add the link.
what was I
It's gonna
saying
be
now,
heinous.
Josh? I've lost it now.
Oh, I don't know. You're saying something.
Something.
My attention span is probably
As much
relatively similar to what viewers are, and probably less actually, because I'm like a goldfish.
so much less.
You screwed me, mate. No, okay, but basically, so it's up to you to show what one you're loyal to, right?
You gotta choose.
because it has a role. What it's
Yeah.
doing here, it is sort of a banker's role. It's giving us our reserve money. Which why are we running our country on reserves? You know that should ring a bell.
Yeah.
You know, we should have gold and silver and bills of exchange as per constitution.
Like most first world countries, we don't have gold in the bank. That dollars represent. It's not like that anymore.
But it has a role, right? So it's up to us as a people to show where our loyalty lies, and you can do that. The biggest thing I'd say is buy a 6-pointed red ensign flag and fly it on a.
And we'll link that shit in the description
I
as
will
well.
link one of them.
But how's this? You think about it, everyone knows it. Money is fake, yet we can't even send some to people helping these fires.
Oh, dude, no.
It's fake, but we still don't. You know what?
Yeah,
Okay.
we depend on like the 41 million. Have you seen the $41 million raised? Like went above 40 million today, I think.
No, I haven't actually.
So on one of the petitions, one of the
I've seen one of them.
Yeah.
One of them was like pretty fucking high.
Yeah, that must have been that one.
There's one where there's chicks selling
Like,
nudes for $10.
telephone got fucking when it came to this
Yeah.
raising money.
What was that?
You seen one where there's some chick, she's sending nudes for $10.
Yeah.
And
Bro,
huge.
she
let's go.
raised like
$50K and then $500K. It's like huge.
she
Really?
raised like $1 million in the first day or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
You're joking.
Nudes
Probably
for a
same
cause.
nude, eh? She can't take
Yeah,
a million
and it
nudes.
was proper. It wasn't like there's a couple of nipples, a bit of titty. It was like
Yeah, it was like gash and all.
yeah, it was like spread eagle. It was ultimate.
She probably posted like the next thing was like $20 for this, $50
yeah,
for this.
yeah. And then her like
Yeah,
her
and-
private Snapchat like username to add.
Yeah, 150.
and her PayPal. That ain't for the fires.
Yeah. That's just persons.
Oh, this is the first. I think we'll wrap it up. The first podcast.
The first podcast of 2020.
And we had to do video.
Yo.
That's why we're live.
Yeah, we had to show
Because
off
I-
the old
I'm gonna get it
before
off on
this
Friday.
goes.
Yeah.
Like
Big old gimpsing. But also we'll link Lawtard. So anything from our conversation earlier, if you didn't understand, it's not presently there, but by the time that you may see this, it will be.
Yeah.
potentially.
It'll be videos that sort of summarize and explain in a way I could never
gives you an
comprehend.
idea of what Australian law should be rather than because everyone focuses on American law.
Look up what flag our Anzacs came home to.
Yeah.
It wasn't blue. I'll tell you that much.
And look at the star underneath the Union
Commonwealth
Jack.
Star.
Or if it's too much of a yarn to do all of that, just find all the stuff in the link.
Follow me.
where it will
I'll
be.
get to it.
We'll be there.
put it in there so you don't have to find it.
Either way,
Just look in there.
we love you all. And
More than
yeah,
more
Happy
than
New
fair.
Year's, Merry Christmas, and fucking love you all.
Peace.
Happy Easter. Hope it's your birthday. Happy birthday.